I never thought parking my old truck would spark a neighborhood war. But here we are. This mess started on an ordinary Wednesday morning in August, when the Texas sun was already frying the dirt before breakfast. I just finished rewiring a busted barn at the Miller Ranch down the road and pulled my beat-up Chevy Silverado up to the gate of Westfield Ranch, my 50 acres of sweat, fences, and memories. I cut the engine and checked my mailbox, same routine I'd done since 2003, when my late wife Linda and I bought this piece of heaven. The cows lowed somewhere by the creek. The cicadas hummed. Peaceful until it wasn't. A white Audi SUV squealed to a stop so close to my bumper I thought she'd hitch me for free. Out popped Brenda Holt, Queen Bee of the Silver Pines HOA. In a blazer 2 sizes too tight and shoes that'd sink in a real pasture. She was already marching at me, waving her clipboard like the holy book. "You can't park here," she shrieked. Voice cutting through the morning air like a rusty nail on glass. "This violates HOA visual standards and extended boundary ordinances." I squinted at her. Then at my battered mailbox nailed to my ranch sign, Westfield Ranch, established 2003, letters peeling from too many Texas summers. "Ma'am," I said, tipping my hat out of habit. "You do realize you're standing on my driveway? On my ranch? Been mine for 20 years. Brenda puffed up like a startled rooster. She flipped papers on her clipboard so aggressively I thought she'd get a paper cut on her ego. "The Silver Pines HOA passed Resolution 19A last spring," she spat. "Our boundaries now include this stretch. Your rusty truck lowers our property values. Either move it or sell to us before we make you leave." That did it. I ain't much for fighting. But trying to take my land, the same patch where I scattered Linda's ashes, where I taught my boy Luke to ride a horse and change a tire, that'll light a fire in any man. "Well, bless your heart," I said, smiling my biggest, most polite Texan smile. Brenda didn't get that it meant, go jump in a creek down here. She turned beet red and stabbed her phone screen like she wanted it to bleed. 911? "Yes, I need deputies right away. There's a suspicious trespasser refusing to vacate Silver Pines territory. You may be dangerous." I pulled out my phone too and hit record. Folks needed to see this mess. Then I texted Luke. "Might need backup, son." Brenda's voice rose to Broadway levels. "Yes, officer, he's threatening me. He's parked a hazardous vehicle. She glanced at my phone and hissed, "Are you filming me?" "Live, ma'am," I said, turning the camera on her while cows watched behind the fence like paying customers. About 10 minutes later, 2 county deputies rolled up, looking more bored than scared. Brenda sprinted at them, flailing her clipboard. "Arrest him. He's ruining the neighborhood with that eyesore truck." The younger deputy, Deputy Carter, spotted me and cracked a grin he tried to hide. The older deputy, Sergeant Gomez, held up a hand. "Ma'am, slow down." "Sir, you got ID?" "Yes, sir," I said, handing over my license and the deed copy I always keep in the glove box ever since Linda told me to never trust a pin pusher with your fence line. Deputy Carter checked it. Then checked the ranch sign, then my beat-up Silverado. "He's on his own property, ma'am. There's no violation here." Brenda shrieked. "That's impossible. He's lowering our value. He parks that heap right where people can see it." Sergeant Gomez sighed. "Ma'am, parking an older vehicle on private land isn't a crime." Brenda jabbed a finger at me. "I'm posting this to our community page. Everyone will know Robert Walker is an eyesore menace." I chuckled at the camera. "Y'all hear that? I'm a menace now." Deputy Carter tried not to laugh. Brenda stomped back to her Audi, but I knew it wasn't over. Over the next week, Brenda unleashed every HOA dirty trick in the book. She posted flyers calling me a public nuisance. She hired some college kid with a camera to snap photos every time my Silverado sat crooked. She even stuck a bright orange violation sticker on my barn door, which I peeled off and mailed back with a note. "Mind your business, Brenda." My favorite part? She served me a handwritten fine for improper vehicle alignment, $750 for parking at a non-standard angle. I parked that same way for 2 decades. Enough was enough. So I fought petty with petty and a bit of Texas humor. Every day, I parked my Silverado in a new shape, a heart for Linda, a star for Texas, once even spelled out "Move Emmy" with hay bales around it. Folks online ate it up. I started streaming Walker's Parking Wars every night. It went viral. One night, I told my viewers, "Right here's where Luke learned to parallel park." Took him 20 tries, but he did it straight. Now look at us. Donations poured in. Folks shared stories about HOA bullies. We turned my parking lot into a symbol for standing your ground. Then Brenda slipped up. She taped a letter to my gate. Sell the ranch to Silver Pines, or we'll enforce more violations until you leave. She signed it, President Brenda Holt. On camera. Gotcha. The next morning, I called Luke. He'd grown into a fine man. Quiet, steady, and happened to wear a badge. I didn't mention him online. Not yet. Bring backup tomorrow, son, I said. You got it. Dad, he said. That was all. By dawn, I borrowed trucks from every rancher in 10 miles. We spelled out my land big enough to see from the highway. Brenda showed up in under 15 minutes. My viewers ran bets on her arrival time. Sirens wailed minutes later. Brenda cheered. Finally, you're done for, Robert Walker. She screeched as a black and white cruiser pulled up. She ran to the door before it opened, ranting, Sheriff, arrest him for public nuisance. He's psychologically harassing us with trucks. The cruiser door swung wide. Out stepped Sheriff Luke Walker, my son, all badge, hat, and the same stubborn chin he had at 12. He looked at me, smiled. Hey, Dad. Silence thicker than Texas humidity. Brenda's clipboard hit the dirt. The crowd of neighbors and live streamers gasped. Sheriff Luke tipped his hat at her. Ma'am, I'm Sheriff Walker. And that man is my father. Brenda squeaked. That's corruption. I'll call the governor. The FBI. The United Nations. Luke didn't blink. You filed 12 false reports this month alone. Misuse of emergency services is a misdemeanor. You're wasting taxpayer money. He held up a folder. Also, Resolution 19A is a forgery. County clerk confirmed it never existed. But your bank records do. That $750,000 beautification fund? Turns out it funded your nephew's landscaping company. You'll answer for that. Brenda tried to flee, but Deputy Carter blocked her outie. She shrieked about HOA rights until the handcuffs clicked. 3 weeks later, in court, Judge Simmons called it the most ridiculous abuse of an HOA I've seen in 20 years. Brenda pleaded guilty to fraud, harassment, and filing false reports. 2 years probation, restitution. Banned from any HOA role ever again. Luke stood by me at the ranch gate when the ruling came down. Well, son, I said, clapping his shoulder. Seems parking made us famous. Luke laughed. Better than getting famous for something dumb, Dad. Today, I still park my Silverado wherever I damn please. No more orange stickers. No more clipboard armies. On weekends, neighbors gather for Walker's Parking Fest. We cook brisket, park trucks in funny shapes, and raise money for folks fighting HOA harassment nationwide. I nailed a new sign next to my old one. Westfield Ranch, free parking forever. Brenda tested. Texas approved. And sometimes, when the sun dips behind my Silverado, I swear I hear Linda's laugh on the breeze. After all, parking isn't just about a truck. It's about standing your ground.